Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Deficit, and you're watching a little bit of Search and Destroy on the map Standoff. If I do say so myself, I think Standoff is a phenomenal map. It's probably one of my favorite maps in Call of Duty of all time. Maybe not the most favorite, but definitely top three. I'm not really sure what other two would be in the top three, but I just want to say that Standoff is a pretty spectacular map in my opinion. I really do enjoy it in a lot of game types, especially Search and Destroy. And so we did pretty alright in this match, I think. I really wish I had the in-game audio. I've been trying to work on that for you guys. I did do a couple tests the other day because I think the in-game audio can be pretty intense and you get more of a feel of how the game was played out, as well as the momentum swings and the momentum breakers that happens throughout the game. But I was trying this out the other day, and one of the things I'm having a trouble with in my room is that the room is not as large and open as I would preferably enjoy it to be. And so the AC that we're running is not quiet, seamless in the window kind of thing. It's quite loud, actually, and I have it turned off. I turn it off to do audio recordings, but it gets pretty hot in here really quick. I mean, when I say really quick, I mean you give it like 10 minutes and the room's already heating back up. And we are on the third floor, the top floor of the building, and so it gets pretty hot up here pretty quick. As you guys may know, heat rises, and so it does not hesitate to do that in the summer, in the middle of July, and so it gets pretty stinking hot up on this third floor, and so it's almost a requirement to have the AC running for it to be even, you know, to sit down in here. Otherwise, it's like a sauna. It gets pretty humid, it gets pretty hot, and so the AC is very loud, and if I turn it off for more than 10 minutes, granted that I'm in the room by myself so that nobody else seems to care, if I turn it off for more than 10 minutes, it gets pretty hot up here, and so it's not really a plausible way of going about doing so. I need to find another situation, another way of doing the live audio recordings often, because obviously that one game that you record with in-game audio may not be the game that's even enjoyable to watch. And so enough about that. I did try, so I apologize for not having the in-game audio, as this is a game battles match. We thought that it was the best of three, if you guys don't know. We thought it was a GB variant, but it ended up being an MLG variant, and we were playing a team called Defy Gaming. I don't know exactly their standings as far as anything goes, but they had Defy in their gamer tags, and I know that doesn't really mean anything, but to me that means at least they're, you know, at least somewhat dedicated to the group that they're in, because they've actually decided to name their gamer tag after their group. And so, I mean, so, you know, that doesn't necessarily make you a better player, but I think it does just show that you guys are at least somewhat organized to some extent, even though if your ability does not match that. But anyways, these guys were great. They played really well. They gave us a run for our money. This was game 2. The first game was Hardpoint on Standoff, as it is Standoff for the second match in a row, or game, rather. And we did not do very well, although we held our game. We lost on the very final hard point in the, I don't even know what that, I can never think of what that building is called. It's not like a granary, I don't know, maybe some people call it the barn. I don't know, but you guys know what I'm talking about. It's the second hard point rotation. It's got the stairs, it's got the upstairs so that you can usually snipe down the street. It's got the 2 entrances by the gas station. I really don't know what that building is called. I should probably look that up and know it for the callouts. But yeah, we lost on that final hard point, and it was by like 16 points, something like that. So it was a very close match. It was very well played on both sides. I think we had some really phenomenal breaks and holds on both sides, and they did not have their game recordings on, and I wasn't live recording because my brother was using the computer, and so I apologize for not having that and having the full series. I do plan on in the future to have full series so you guys can get the momentum and you guys can see how the series has gone, and, you know, stuff like that. It's because it's obviously I personally enjoy seeing how the match develops, and seeing, you know, who's playing well and then who doesn't play well and then who plays well the next match, and if the momentum changes and if someone steps it up, makes a big play, and then their game is changed and stuff like that. And so the second game was Search and Destroy. We had to come back, and we were going to lose the game, and we dropped the ball early. We didn't go in very confidently. In fact, one of the guys on the other team sent us a message and said he's like, wow, that was a really close match. I'm almost kind of scared to go into Search and Destroy. So I don't know if he legitimately meant that because he was perhaps not as good at Search and Destroy, or because he thought we were, you know, pretty good players and that it was just going to be a good match, and he wasn't necessarily as confident in Search and Destroy. Because for me, Search and Destroy has been one of our lesser favored game types because we're not as familiar with it in a competitive scene. We have played it in league play. We have played it, you know, in public matches, but we don't have a lot of experience in competitive thing, because competitive and public match is totally different. And I know that we're not on a very high-ranking competitive scene, but it's still competitive nonetheless. And most of the people that you play generally have an idea of what they're doing to some extent. And so it's a very different feel. It's a very different gameplay style. And so I think we went down 4-1. In fact, you guys are watching it, so you guys will be able to know if I'm remembering this correctly or not. But I'm pretty sure we went down 4-1, or it was something like that. But we dropped the ball early, and we weren't performing well. In fact, Brian, or Mono Warbeaver, my teammate on the doubles ladder, we've been playing Call of Duty together for probably since my freshman year in high school. It's been quite a while. The guy's great. He's phenomenal. He's probably one of the best slayers I've played with in my time playing Call of Duty. He can get shaky sometimes if he gets a little flustered, if he's out of the swing of things. But when he's in the zone, he's really hard to beat. And I've always told him that he could make the big leagues if he made the effort in. But so we're climbing our way up. We're making our way up the ladder right now, and we'll see where we get. But so we're playing, and he was getting kind of down. He was like, because Search and Destroy is by far his least favorite game type. He used to be really great at it back in Modern Warfare 2, back in Modern Warfare 3, maybe even in the original Black Ops. But for some reason, it's just not clicking with him in Black Ops 2. But I think I held him together. I think I kept him in his mind level enough, and we started to come back in the end of this. And I know I don't want to spoil how this ends, but we did take the series to a Game 3, and I want to tell you about that, which is why I kind of have to spoil the fact that we did end up winning the Search and Destroy. But I won't tell you how we did it, and so you'll have to watch and see just how it played out, because I do say that it was really intense, and it really came down to the wire, and it was a phenomenal play. Great plays made on both teams. I really do want to point that out, that it was a well-played match entirely, all three games. And so we get to the third game, and third game was Hardpoint on Raid. And now we feel pretty confident going into a Hardpoint game, although we lost the first Hardpoint, because Hardpoint is something that we can have a lot of momentum in, especially coming out of that second match. I do think we demoralized them a little bit, although we had a pretty even start, and then they took I think it was the garage, the first rotation of the garage, and they held it down like the entire time. They had a sentry set up and like stuff like that. Like they had it pretty good, and they had the sentry gun, so they had other score streaks. And they went to basketball court, and I think they demolished us in the first rotation. The entire first rotation, we held it pretty even to begin with, and then we just kind of lost. We lost the foothold. They held the kitchen really well, and we just could not get in there. And then the second rotation started happening, and we got back on the, I want to say it was the ringside one, and we really made a move there. And from there, we clawed our way back. We climbed up those steps one step at a time, just one hard point at a time, 1 point at a time, just clawing our way back. And then I think it was the second garage one. We broke them really quick, and we held it the entire time. I want to say, like, literally the entire time. They didn't step foot in that garage. I got streaks, and that was really the game changer, because we headed down to, I put it down in the garage out front and threw my trophies down, which actually didn't play a big part in that garage, but it did play a huge part later on. We went to basketball court. We held that because I had my streaks, and then I cleared the way for the middle, and we held that for most of the time. So we came back really close, and it was during the middle. The middle one was the final hard point, and this is where my sentry gun, because I think they forgot about it, or at least they weren't really thinking about it, because they got a double kill, and then they got one more of them, and we were able to hold that middle hard point the very last 60 seconds of that game. And we clawed our way back, and we were like counting every second, doing every bit of math in our heads, and we could win it. We could win it on that hard point. All we had to do was hold them, and we really did. We held them almost the entire time. They didn't step foot in that box. My sentry gun was doing work. It was holding them off, and then one guy came up open stairs, jumped over the ledge, and got me. Although I held him off for a couple seconds because I knew I wasn't going to win that gunfight. I was reloading. He was rushing in on me. I was doomed. I was done for, but I hid behind the rock, bought as much time as I possibly could, and he ended up taking me out, and we were in the lead by like 3 seconds, and there was 4 seconds left on the clock, and I was like, I lost it by 1 point, and we ended it with a tie. There was 0.7 seconds left on the clock, and there was not enough time for them to get that extra point to win the game. So we clawed our way back and tied the third match. It was unbelievable. I really wish we had it. My friend didn't have the recording on, and my brother was using the computer, so we couldn't record the match. And I'm slightly upset that we didn't have it. I'm not upset anymore. Although I do wish I could show it because it was a phenomenally played game on both ends. And we had to replay the match. We replayed it and we steamrolled them. We had so much momentum coming out of that third game. We had a smashing lead. We had it was like 80-10. We probably took it to like 140 to like 40. They came back to I think 100 points, and we took it out. They left a little bit early, but once you know that you've lost, there's really no need to hang around. If it's not. I don't think it's bad sportsmanship because you don't really communicate. It's not a live event. It's just you've lost from the time that you can't mathematically win, so there's really not much to stick around for. But well played for them. I'm really glad that we were playing against them and that everything went our way in the end, because it was one of my best games, one of my best matches I've ever experienced, because it was such a roller coaster ride, and the ups and downs with that. It was just, that's why I love competitive gaming. It's so fun to be a part of, and to have been able to be in that game is awesome, and I cannot wait to experience more intense moments like that, because I want to be able to come out on top, but I won't always feel bad if I'm on bottom, because if the other team really played well, I got to give props to them as well. Even though I don't know a lot of these guys, obviously I don't know any of the guys I'm playing, but it feels really awesome to really have it come down to a single second, a game-changing second, and coming out on top. It feels really awesome. But thanks, guys. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. I'm not exactly sure if there's much gameplay left, and the audio doesn't match up as far as the timing goes, so I apologize if the video is going on for like another 2 minutes, but I really don't have much to talk for, and I don't know how long it's going to be, so I don't want to go too far and go over the limit of the video. But thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for sticking around and watching such a longer one. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I am playing more competitive Call of Duty, and we do have a Game Battles double, so if you were playing Game Battles doubles and doing Game Battles variant, and you wish to challenge my team, we are called #BeatTheBots. It's an actual hashtag and not the wording hashtag. We don't have a very great record, but I promise you we'll give you at least a challenge to some extent. Maybe a little bit more of a challenge. Maybe make me a little bit more run for your money. But thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for listening. And also, have a nice day. See you guys.
Good job, Grunts. Get ready for the next round. Clear the objectives. Bomb acquired. Time's almost up. Finish the mission. You're all that remains. Good job, Grunts. Get ready for the next round. Destroy. Eliminate the objective. Bomb acquired. Charges dropped. Finish the mission. You're all that remains.